the binding circle, the dare. It started like every dumb teen story, with a dare. The town of Graven Hollow had one rule. Everyone quietly knew don't go into the old Norvik house after dark. The rotting Victorian on the edge of the woods had sat empty for nearly 40 years, and yet light sometimes flickered through the upper windows, and no matter how often it was boarded up, the front door always creaked open at night. But teenagers are notoriously good at ignoring the rules. It was Lucas who brought the book. He'd found it at a garage, cell-bound in cracked leather, written in something that looked like Latin. He thought it was a sick prop for Halloween. "I dare you to summon something," he said to Sam, grinning in the flickering beam of his flashlight. Sam, the skeptic, rolled his eyes. "Fine, but when nothing happens, you're buying pizza for the rest of the year." The others, Casey, Brielle, and Josh, laughed nervously, sitting in a half circle on the dusty floor of the Norvik house's living room. The walls were covered in faded wallpaper that curled like shedding skin. The air smelled like mildew, smoke, and something faintly metallic. They lit 5 candles in a circle, placed a silver knife in the center, and started reading. The Summoning. The Latin words rolled off Sam's tongue awkwardly, some guttural, others whisper-thin. The book's page had no translation, just symbols and runes that made Lucas's fingers go numb when he traced them. When Sam reached the final phrase, Invoco Tenebris, Aperi Portum, Daemonium Audimi, the air snapped cold. The candles didn't go out, but the shadows grew thicker. The temperature dropped 10 degrees in a breath. A sound echoed from the second floor, a dragging noise. Slow, deliberate. "No, hell no." Brielle stood up, backing away. Josh tried to laugh, but it came out tight. "It's probably an animal, or like an echo." The dragging grew louder, descending stairs that no one had stepped on in years. Then came the smell sulfur, rot, and something far fouler than death. The circle of candles flared blue, then extinguished all at once. Silence. Then a whisper, soft and inhuman, one for each. The first death. They ran, out the front door, into the woods, not stopping until they reached the edge of town. They didn't speak until they were sure they weren't being followed. But the next morning, Casey didn't show up to school. Her mom found her in the bath tube, ears wide, mouth agape, body drained of color. No wounds, no water, just lifeless, as though something had sucked out her soul. A single word was scratched into the mirror above the sink. 1. Sam blamed himself. "It was the book. We read something wrong." Lucas denied it. "It was a prank. We scared ourselves. Casey had a heart condition or something." But Brielle knew better. She remembered the voice. 1 for each. That meant 4 more. They returned to the Norvik house that night. The book was still there, open to the same page. This time, another section had revealed itself, runic text burned into the parchment like it had risen from the depths. It read, "He comes with shadow teeth. He drinks from fear. He cannot be banished, only consumed. Terror unfolds." That night, Josh dreamed of shadows crawling under his skin. He woke screaming and then never woke again. Lucas found him the next morning, curled in bed, hands clawed into his own chest, face contorted in agony. Above his bed, etched in blood, was a new word, 2. They were unraveling. Sam refused to sleep. Brielle started researching demonology, feverishly scrolling through forums, obscure archives, even reaching out to occult groups. That's when she found it, a record of the same summoning from the 1800s. 5 people had died, 1 survived. The demon Malcaris, the hunger below, could not be sent back, only lured into a vessel, then destroyed from within. It doesn't want to possess you, Brielle whispered. It wants to devour you. The plan. Lucas Gragt. I never meant for this, he said, gripping the book like it was part of him. We need to stop it. We have to finish what we started. They went back to the house for the 3rd time. Now only 3 of them. The smell was worse now. Something ancient and alive rotting in the walls. The candles lit themselves as they stepped inside. The book was open again, but this time the pages turned by unseen hands. It showed them the binding circle. 5 souls to summon, 5 seals to trap, but only one could offer the sacrifice. The host, the one to let the demon in. I'll do it, Sam said. No, Brielle said firmly. I read the book. It has to be the one who summoned it. You spoke the words. Sam nodded. Then I'm the one who has to end it. The possession. They began the ritual again, but in reverse. Sam stood in the center, surrounded by the binding symbols Brielle had painstakingly carved into the floor with salt and ash. Lucas read from the book now, trembling. The shadows came quickly this time. The house groaned, windows shattered, whispers turned to screams. Then Malcaris arrived. He was a thing of black sinew and broken faces, thousands of eyes blinking across his shifting form, a grin that stretched across dimensions. He crawled through the cracks in reality and entered Sam like smoke. Sam's body convulsed, then rose, eyes glowing like dying stars. I see you all, the demon purred. You burn so sweet. Lucas began the final chant. Brielle held the knife, ready to end it when Sam gave her the signal. Now, he whispered through gritted teeth, do it, while I'm still in here. Brielle hesitated. The demon howled. The room shook. Then she plunged the blade deep into Sam's chest. The final price. Light exploded from within, him blinding, searing. Malcaris screamed, a sound like metal tearing flesh and galaxies collapsing. Sam fell, eyes wide, tears streaking down his cheeks. Tell my mom. The demon's body dissolved into ash. The book burst into flames, turning to dust in seconds. And then silence. The house, for the first time, felt empty. Lucas and Brielle carried Sam's body out at dawn. They buried him beneath the trees, far from town, in a place where light touched every corner. Epilogue. Lucas never returned to Graven Hollow. He vanished within a year. Brielle stayed, keeping watch over the forest, the ruins of the Norvig house sealed behind concrete and runes. She never spoke of that night again, but sometimes she could still hear Sam's voice on the wind. And sometimes, when she looked in the mirror, she saw shadows behind her eyes. But the demon was gone. For now.